Pretties, welcome to Webster Real. So today I am very tired. I had, yeah, you know how it is. I had cramps like all last night and I was taking medicine and it wasn't kicking it. It wasn't kicking it, so I'm like super exhausted. I did not sleep well at all. But I'm here really happy because I got my order from Laura Los Angeles. And yeah, finally. Took forever. I was getting a little disappointed when I was on Instagram and all these people were like receiving all their stuff and I'm like, where's mine? I mean, mine hadn't even shipped, but then it got here already, so I'm so excited. So my boyfriend was actually like, why don't you open the box in front of everyone on camera? And I'm like, sorry. And I'm like, first off, I don't have that kind of patience to wait till the next day because I didn't open until late last night. And I'm like, and my subscribers know not to expect things like that for me. I just can't help myself. I just needed to open it. So I did. So I did get the Nudie number 2. I do already own the first Nudie. I do want to do a couple of comparisons because there's a couple of shades that I kind of wanted to compare just because it looks somewhat similar to the Nudie. And then granted, it's supposed to be a companion palette. I will say that when I first saw the palette, I did feel like you needed like a more dark chocolate brown kind of, you know. But I mean, I guess if I think about it, Nudie Patootie has a bunch of those. So I was like, all right, I guess if it's a companion palette, you should be able to get those shades. It's super pretty. It's 0.053 ounces per shadow. That to me is important because, and I mentioned it a while ago, I feel like lately the standard eyeshadow shade number again like smaller and smaller, and it used to be 0.05 and I feel like now it's like 1 gram, which is 0.033. And I'm like, I understand we're never gonna go through all this eyeshadow because we have a bunch of them. If you're like me, you have a bunch of eyeshadow, but there's something about it that I'm just like, but when did this change happen? Anyway, but this is what the palette looks like. Beautiful, beautiful. Like I said, I do want to do some comparisons. These are the 2 new shades. I will say they do look very similar in person and on camera. But once I swatch them, there is a very noticeable difference. This one's more like a pink, slightly lavender. This one's definitely more bronzy. So where it looks silvery here, but I swear it's a very interesting formula. And she said that was a new formula. This actually looks a lot prettier in person than it does on camera. I know when I was looking at everybody's videos, I was like, what is this shade supposed to look like? But it's like a pink cranberry. It's very pretty, almost bronzy. It's so strange, but it's really pretty. Blush is definitely more like a shimmery bronze, which I'm excited for. Then you have blushing right here. I really want to do a look where I do blushing all over my lid. Not today, but I want to do a look when I do blushing all over my lid, and then Risque as a wing liner. I think that would be so pretty. Not today, but it will happen. Jesus Christ. This goes for me. Anyway, so yeah, I'm excited. I do want to compare Bum to Strip in the original Nudie palette. I don't know why. I just feel like, I know that that one's yellow and this one's more orangey, but I still want to compare them. I don't know why. Something in me, I'm like, I just want to see what those look like. I got the 2 liquid lipsticks. I do want to I want to put Show Off today, which is the darker one of the 2. It's okay, baby. She scared you? It's fine. All right. This color is so beautiful. So beautiful. And I did get all 10 of the brushes. I actually got a couple extras. So I got 2 of the Kabuki brushes. I did end up getting 2 of the blush brushes as well. And I got 3 of the big blending brush. Because this is my kind of brush. The other ones I didn't. It's the original that come in the packet with everything. They do feel very nice, very pretty, very soft. That hair is my dog's hair, not the brush hair. But yeah, I'm excited. So I did already prep my eyelids. These dogs are gonna be the death of me. I did already prep my eyelids. I just kind of want us to like do a look together. Why not? I am trying to get ready to go to work, so nothing too crazy. I want to do something a little more nude, but slightly rosy since I'm wearing this like funny enough like blushy pink sweater. Let's take, isn't this so satisfying? Some of you might not find that satisfying, but I think that's super satisfying. So I'm gonna grab the blending brush with the L18, and this reminds me a little bit of the Morphe brushes, because there's a bunch of brushes like this from Morphe. There was even one like this in the Makeup Molly set as well. So anyway, I'm just gonna grab a little bit of Balm, and I know Lars formula and I really enjoy it. I wish in that set, I don't know why she did it. She has a really small face, and so she says, and she has really small eye space, so that's why she didn't want to get like a huge blending brush. But I wish there was a huge blending brush so I can just put this as a wash of color all over my lid. It would be so much faster. I do think that this one's just a little bit too small for something like that, but other than that, I mean, it blended beautifully, which, you know, I was expecting. She has a very beautiful eyeshadow formula. Just gonna bring it a little bit lower into the outer corner. There you go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so I was going back and forth whether I should go with Patootie or with low cut, but I decided to go low cut because low cut has like a slightly rosy undertone, and I think it's just more of what I want to do right now. And so I'm taking the L16 tin tap, which is the smaller little pencil brush. I just think it's gonna be perfect for the outer corner. And if you can hear my dogs going crazy, please don't mind them. Okay, first off, that blended beautifully into the crease. Second, that is a very interesting undertone, because it's like a, I don't know, it's literally like a rosy brown. And I don't know that I've seen too many of those shades, and I'm now curious to know if I have anything else like it. There's like a slight pink undertone to this, but it's definitely a brown, but it's not burgundy. It's like pink. I don't know, this is interesting. Okay, now whatever I have left, I'm just gonna put it right over here. This is very interesting. I'm super curious as to what that is. I'm just gonna go back with my first brush. Just gonna blend those edges a little. All right, that looks very beautiful. I'm trying to do something simple here. I'm not trying to go crazy. Nope, not that one. All right, so this is the smaller brush in L17. And I was originally thinking about going with the Nudie or the Chicky because it's a new formula, but I actually want to go with Skimpy. And these dogs are going to be the death of me. I'm just curious to see how it looks without anything on it. My brush is not wetted, and yeah, it didn't go very far. I probably should wet this or use my finger. Oh no, there it is. It's going. It's coming along. And I'm not trying to do anything perfect. I'm trying to do kind of like a half cut crease, but I don't want to actually cut it, because I feel like that's going to be too harsh, and I'm trying to go for something a little more soft, a bit more romantic, if you would say. And I got that from Laura because that's what she wanted to do with this palette. She wanted to do something a little more romantic. That slightly bronziness to it is kind of blending right into the top, but it still blends also right into the pink. I don't know that the camera is giving this any justice. But that looks beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, I'm just gonna do a little bit more. Damn. Okay. I don't know that the camera's picking up how intense this is, considering it's 100% dry and I applied it with a brush and not my finger. This looks amazing. All right. So what I'm gonna do is go back to the original brush, the fluffy one, just to blend out the edges at the top. And then with my little pencil brush over here, I'm just gonna tap. You can actually grab a little more. And I'm just going for something real soft. That's it. Just soft. Back with that first brush. Blend, 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 blend. Beautiful. I'm gonna do the other eye real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is it. I finally figured out the way I want to describe that shimmer shadow. It's like a rosy bronze. I feel like we usually see a lot of like rosy golds and things like that. This is like a rosy bronze, which means it blends right into the warmthness of the top, but then also right into the, like the little bronzy pinkiness that's going on over here on the sides. And I actually like it. It's really soft and simple eye look, but that's what we're going for. There is one more eye brush that I haven't used, which is well, actually there's two. I'm not gonna use the eyeliner one because I'm not gonna put an eyeliner on. And then this one, it's the L19. She says that she likes to use this for the under eye, which is actually similar to the brushes that I like to use for my under eye. Let's see if I can find one. See, I like to use something like this for the under eye. Is the e.l.f. smudge brush. So if you look at them, they're actually quite similar. So I actually am pretty excited to do that. I also feel like these are really good for packing the lid if you want to do something like that, especially if you're using the matte. So I can't wait to do my under eye with this. But okay, let's get to the face brushes. So let me take out the duplicate so I don't confuse myself. Let me put my glasses back on too so I can see. All right, so we have the L11, I believe. Yes, which is the kabuki brush. Everyone's been like raving about this brush specifically, so I can't wait. I will say though, because of L'Oreal, I ended up buying the, where is it? Here it is. This is the Y6 from Morphe, and then if this one eventually became the M6 from Morphe, which I did buy them. And as you can see, now this one's been used and abused, as you can tell, because I had this one longer. It is somewhat similar to the M6 from Morphe. I will say though, this was a lot cheaper than the Morphe one. If that tells you anything. The brush size, this one's slightly wider. They're both pretty dense. I will say the L'Oreal Los Angeles feels a little softer. It also strangely feels like there's more bristles than this one, but this one is like very like together. Like there's not a lot of wiggle. Like it doesn't have a lot of movement. While this one feels like has a larger like mobility. I know my dogs are going crazy. I'm like debating closing the door, but since I'm the only person in the house, I just know they're gonna scratch at the door and that's gonna make it worse. So that's why I'm not doing it. So just want to FYI. I also love the blush brush from Morphe in the, which one is one? The E4. Which this one was actually in her brush set that she did with Morphe, and that's how I got the Y6 as well. And as you can tell, they're somewhat similar. They're both kind of like angled. This one is fluffier, this one's smaller, but like I said, she did say she has a smaller face, and so I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So I can't wait to try this one. And see, the other only brush, now this is the highlighter brush that came in that L'Oreal Los Angeles Morphe set, and this is the Art 36, which is, this one's also been used and abused. Look how messed up this one looks. It used to look actually somewhat similar to this when it was tapered. Now this one is significant. Okay, I'm just gonna close the door. I can't do it. Okay, we're back. We'll see how long this lasts. This one used to be a lot more tapered, but it is significantly bigger. This one is a lot smaller, which I feel like will be more targeted. I am a little concerned to see how that one will work. I do have my L'Oreal Los Angeles highlighter, so we're gonna use this one later. Yes, okay. Let's see, what else we got here? We've got the L13, which this one's supposed to be the contour brush. There is a powder brush, which is this one. They look actually very similar. I do think this one could be used for blush as well, but I actually really want to use this one for contour bronze thing, because I feel like this would be perfect. I'm out of breath. I don't know why I'm out of breath. And this one's supposed to be for powder. So you can get right here and right here, and you can see it's a little bit more domed, I guess would be the word for it, like a little more circled. So I'm excited for that. And let's just get started, because I really want to apply my foundation, because I want to see how this foundation brush is going to change my life, because I'm waiting for my life to be changed. So picking up my hands, shaking. The more I use this foundation in the shade medium 85N, the more I think that, even though I think the undertone is funny, this is like almost rosy, unfortunately it's a really good match for me. And I wanted to, and the more I use it, the more I realize that, because I know I mentioned it before where I was like, I'm not sure about this undertone, but then as the day goes on, it kind of like blends right into my skin. It's such an interesting shade, but I think I put too much foundation on. Yeah, I should have grabbed just a pump and a half, and I grabbed 2 pumps. I don't know why I got so overzealous all of a sudden. Damn it. All right, well, we're just gonna blend it down to my neck, because that's what we're doing now. All right, let's just jump right into it. I'm gonna start out with my neck. See, that undertone is so funky, but damn, it's a good shape match. But I'm like, I don't think I have this kind of weird undertone, but maybe I do and I just don't know it. Okay. I need to use a different palette because I don't want to ruin those. I'm so blind that I just can't see. No, I was definitely right. These undertones are so weird. It's a good shape match for me, potentially, but those undertones are strange. I'm just pinching it to kind of get it on my side. Okay, so I did wet my sponge just in case. I know that a lot of people are using this brush to like do their concealer, because that's how Laura does her, and they're trying to like do all the makeup steps with the brushes, but that's just not how I do my concealer, so I'm not gonna do it. Oh no, there's a little bit of shedding. I lost a hair. It'll be fine. I will say though, I am seeing a little bit of lines right here in the little like mustache area. Nothing too bad. This is definitely very smooth. It looks beautiful. But blended right in. I usually have to tap my foundation with my sponge right after. I don't think that's necessary. Even though actually after I blended some more, and I do think this is because I had too much product. After I blended some more, those lines kind of went away. But I am seeing some shedding, which is very disappointing. Okay, it's not shedding, it's just a little bit longer than the other ones. That's strange. No, there is a little shedding. There's another one right here. Why is that happening? Maybe I should have washed them before I did this. I know you're supposed to, but I didn't. So there's that. I mean, it blended beautifully. Once I blended those air parts to in the underneath my nose and my upper lip, those definitely, the lines went away. I don't think I would need to go over my sponge for this. This was, and then I always do. I always do. But I don't think it's necessary. I feel like the product didn't go too far, but I mean, this is what the brush looks like. Now that I'm done. Like I said, I did put way too much product though. Like I went overboard by accident. It happens. It happens. It's okay. Overall, foundation though looks amazing. I'm gonna do my concealer, and then I'll be back so we can use a powder brush. Okay, so everything that I was just saying about the shade match, let that burn. Cause do you see this? Do you see this? This is ridiculous. I'm gonna have to wear a scarf today to work because that looks so bad. I will like to note that I normally like to do my under eyes powder with my brush, but for the purposes of this video, I will use the brush that comes with it. Okay, and one more dab. I mean, it's doing a good job, I guess. I'm not sure what I was expecting. It's just a brush. I will say though, this is like 100% different from what I normally use, because I would do my under eyes with this, and then for a powder brush, I will use this big ass brush right here to like move everything around. So, you know, huge difference there. But we're just gonna go along with it. One more brush. Oh no, damn it. I just digged in it naturally like I normally, it's just such a habit. So anyway, only one side got huge difference. And then I used the rest to powder the rest of my face. Damn it. Okay, I normally wouldn't do that. Like I said, that's what I normally would do. It was just an accident. I didn't even think about it. I just did it. Goodness. And then just move the X's around. And that's my powder routine. Nothing crazy because I have super dry skin. Alright, let's go ahead and finish the eyes real quick, so we can call it a day on that. So I'm gonna grab that one brush that I haven't used yet, the little flat one in the L19, and I'm gonna go look at. And just gonna smudge it. I mean, that blended on its own. That was ridiculously fast. I'm gonna grab a little bit of the L18 so I can grab a little bit of balm, just the tiniest little bit. I just wanna blend it even further and just put the lightest touch of that orangey shade underneath, just to bring it back again. Not sure if you can see it. Oh no, I can see it. It's super, super light though. All right, bam. Go to the other eye, my mascara, and I'll be right back. I did end up putting the L'Oreal Los Angeles nude eyeliner in my waterline. I don't like this formula for like anything else but the waterline, but on the waterline it lasts super long, so I ended up putting this one. And it was debating about putting the black one, but I think the nude one just fit a little bit better. All right, so let's wrap this up because I'm late for work. So I do have the Milani bronzer. It's my only bronzer that I own, and I'm gonna grab the L13. Just gonna swirl around. Pretty nice even coat. And we're just gonna test this, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I will say I couldn't tell in this mirror, but when I looked in the bigger mirror that I have over here, even though I can't see, I see that it's a lot harsher than I normally would do. So we're just gonna blend now because I think I might have gone a little too heavy. Probably shouldn't have gone with that second hand of it. All right, let's do the other side real quick. It is definitely more targeted. I just feel like now I have to even it out to the other side. I have to go put a little bit more. I didn't want to. Oh no. I mean, it does a great job of like targeting that area. So I feel like it looks more chiseled than I normally would go for. But I'm gonna grab that powder brush and just kind of blend out those edges because I just feel like it's a little too harsh for me right now. That's not how I like to do my bronzer contour situation. So yeah, Just gonna blend, blend, blend. There you go. I feel like this one's gonna be a learning curve for me because I just don't use this kind of brush. I use something a little bit bigger. And also angled. What I use normally is something like this. From a bronzer, so it's just very different shape. So I think this one's gonna be a learning curve. I do like how chiseled it looks, and I think it blended it just fine. I just, you know, it's just not what I go for. Alright, so let's grab that highlighter. And I already have some ready to go. And I'll just put it in. It's a loose powder. Just gotta shake it. This was interesting when I first got this loose powder. I mean, this loose highlighter, because I've never used one before. But it took me a little while to kind of like get the hang of it. Ooh, super targeted. Okay, this is way more blending than what it normally looks on me. Because I normally use a more fluffy brush. I mean, it looks beautiful no matter what. It actually blended really nicely. Okay, but the brush is almost entirely, like, everything's entirely gone. That's interesting. All right. So I can actually apply all that highlighter that I grabbed. So, okay. All right. Let's do the other side. Okie dokie. All right. That looks really big. Really big. Really nice. I like it. So far, so good. Okay. Okay. My favorite part, blush. Got this blush brush. Shake it. And I'm gonna go with Caramel from Persona. I mean, can we say targeted for sure? I feel like that does not take away from these brushes. Like the face brushes, they're super targeted. I guess because they're small, they just get right in there where you exactly where you place them. That's exactly where you're gonna get it. Or maybe because they're brand new and they're not all like fluffed out. They're overused, and they still blend beautifully. Beautiful, beautiful blend. Okay. I like it. Okay. I really like my makeup today. I'm having a good makeup day. Yay for good makeup days. And I know I'm going heavy on my blush, but I still need to set my, put like the setting spray all over my face, and then I'm going to set it with my blender, so that's going to take it down a notch. So it's okay. Oh my goodness, that looks beautiful. Okay, I'm excited. Again, I know I look a little crazy right now, but trust the process. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. And I went ahead and just finished everything. So, thank you for spending some time with me. Thank you for getting ready with me for getting ready to go to work. And I just want to quickly talk about everything that I got. First off, the shades. I didn't show the other one, but it was Skimpy. I'm wearing Show Off, and I mentioned it earlier, and I really like it. I love this kind of like darker mauves. It's actually really pretty. I tried it last night. It looks actually good on me. So I was scared that it might be too light, but it wasn't. But these are the two liquid lipsticks. I guess I can swatch Skimpy so you can see it. And it's just like a softer pink mauve, peachy kind of shade. It's really pretty actually. And again, Show Off. I'm currently wearing it. Really like those, and I really like the Los Angeles formula, so I knew that one we're gonna be just fine. As for the palette, I really enjoy it. Again, I'm not sure why I'm so out of breath today. I'm not sure why I'm struggling. Except I do want to do some comparisons, but I just looking at the time, I just don't have time for that. So maybe a different time I'll do some comparisons. It is very different, I would say, from the Nudie Patootie palette, but this one actually reminds me more of the cat's pajamas, which I actually have cat's pajamas right here, so I can just do this real quick. Ooh. See, it has a little bit of those purples, still a little bit of warmth, so it kind of reminds me a little bit more of cat's pajamas than it does Nudie Patootie. They are the same size of both the 10 pan, so you know, real pretty. Regardless, I really do like this palette. I enjoy it. These blended just on its own, they're unreal. I have that shimmer. I didn't want to be too bold, but it added just fine. I didn't have a lot of fallout, even though I didn't wet it. I didn't have a tacky base underneath, and I didn't use my finger. I used a brush, and it still placed really well. It stayed on my eye, didn't fall off, so I'm impressed. That alone, I'm impressed. So overall, really like this palette. I do want to play with it some more. I know for sure, I already told you I want to do that real pink all over the lid, and then make like a really crazy wing line with that risque. That would be really fun. I don't know that I have the skills to do it, but we shall try some other day, not today, but we shall try. As for the brushes, let's start with the face ones because I think those are going to be easier ones. I did not like how it was shading a little bit. This kabuki brush, it was shading a little bit, but if I look past that, it did an amazing job of like blending my foundation. And I did not need to go in with my brush and like tap it out. I did go, even though I went with too much product, it still blended out beautifully, and I think it looks pretty flawless. So really enjoying this. I'm hoping that once I wash it, that shedding would stop, because I know a lot of times when you have like a brand new brush, you really need to wash it just to like get those rinsed out, but I just didn't. I have seen other reviews online, and I haven't seen anybody else have the same issues as I did, so maybe it was just me thing, okay? I really like the contour or the bronzer brush. It was a lot more targeted. I do think that my bronzer looks a lot more chiseled than I normally would do. I do think there's going to be a learning curve with it because I've never used this kind of brush before. But I do like the effect that it did. I feel like it needs a learning curve. The blush brush, automatically liked it. What I find so interesting about the highlighter brush is that I mean, there is obviously a little bit of product, but if I compare it to my other highlighter brush, I can still see some of like the glitters stuck in the bristles here, and when I look at this one, it's almost clean. It's just so strange. So a lot of highlighter must have been deposited, and if I take it off, I do see the highlighted really well targeted, but still very well blended. And like I said, the way I do my setting spray and then tap it does take some of it away, of like the highlighter not being so blinding, which is personally what I like, so I'm okay with that. Now let's talk about the brush for powder. It did a good job. I just want to straight up say it did a good job. If I look at my under eyes, they look pretty even, although this one I ended up doing with the let's go with the sponge, but this eye looks really nice as well. However, it's just not what I'm used to, because like I say, the difference in size between what I normally use for powder and this is gigantic. And I normally set my under eyes with my brush, with my sponge, so this was really huge, because once I grab this, I can just quickly just put it everywhere, and it's quick and done. And this was not quick enough, but it got into every little crevice, like little spots that I wanted. So I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how we'll use it, because realistically, for me to use this tiny little brush for my entire face, because I'm gonna go back to my sponge for my under eye. I just know myself, I am. So to use this to like swipe it away, and then it's just too small. So I don't know, this one's gonna have to find other use in my collection, but that's fine. Ooh, just a second. Okay. So let's talk to the eye brushes. As for the eye brushes, I liked all of the brushes that I used. I used 4 out of the 5. I think this did an amazing job of blending my crease right here. This brush practically blended itself underneath my eyes, so it was beautiful. This was actually really well targeted for the little outer outer portion, outer V of my eye, and it blended right into my crease very well. And this one did a great job of picking up and dispensing all the shadow into my lid. So I really enjoy that. However, I do feel like there's just a couple of things missing that I just don't think I can do an entire look with just this ones. I mentioned at the very beginning, I wish there was like a bigger, so this is the Makeup Molly crease creator. I wish there was something like this that's a little more rounded, so that we can put it like all over the lid, and it's going to be bigger and fluffier, so it's going to be easier. I mean, if you compare these two, you'll be able to see significantly bigger, just a little bit circular. It'll be easier for me to create that crease. So I wish we had something bigger like this. I also wish there was something else for the inner corner, because I feel like if I use this for my lid, then I also need something else to put in my inner corner, because I didn't put any inner corner. I feel like I was missing something. So I kind of wish there was something like this, but it was bigger. So let me see if I can grab something. So this is just a random Wish brush. It's just a flat brush. But if I can just have something like this, it's just a lot bigger, so I can put it all over my lid, and then I can have this for like carving or for my inner corner, then I think that would be better. I just feel like there was something missing between like the lid and the inner corner, and there wasn't any in between. So I just wish there were more brushes in this set. I just don't think that this is enough for me, at least, to be able to do an entire look. Other than that, I knew I liked her eyeshadow formula. That was a given. I knew I liked her liquid lipstick formula, so that was a given. Nothing there to worry about. Overall, I think the brushes are great quality. A bit of a learning curve with some of them. I wish she would add more, and I'm sure in the future she would add some more, and I can't wait for that. This is an extremely long video as it is. Thank you for getting ready with me, and have a good one. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.